Thanks for tuning in. This is the mid-event review by YY. We are already on June 8th JST, a dark element day during the Stolar Sisters event. For players who still want to collect light element stones, only one chance is left. Please be careful. And the final half day will be with cool element. Let's see what we can get in this event. Astral Wing, Herb Wing. Well, let's talk about Astral Stolas first. Her skill is a little bit weaker than cards like Leader Zero or Ishikoredome. If I remember well, she is the first Dark Element Turnscape AoE card as a Fantasy Archwitch. Maybe this is the signal that a better Dark Element Turnscape AoE will be released this year, in my opinion. If we don't talk about Overkill, the team setup 1 Turnscape AoE plus 2 buffers and 2 unleashers can easily beat Elemental Horde Advanced class. For example, so each team 2 unleashers, 2 buffer, and 1 Turnscape AoE. Well, Leona is not a Turnscape AoE. I just put her here. This setup, no need to think. No need to think when to press the star. Just when you see a star, then you press the star. In this way, we repeat stun and buffer. Then the enemy minions at the other side will be locked until we get a victory. By the way, if a player gets enough matched element GUR GSR buffers, he will find that beating Elemental Horde Advanced class is very boring. And getting Astral Stolas isn't hard, because in my opinion, some newbie friends told me that they already got 1 or 2 UR job before maxing her hearts. If we do the amalgamation of Astral Stolas and Space-Time Feeder, her damage ratio will be increased a little bit. I don't think it's important. Then let's talk about Herb Stolas. If we do the amalgamation of Herb Stolas and the Space-Time Feeder, we can get Herb Wing. Her skill is very useful against legendary archwitches without legendary domain. If you watched my previous videos, you already know how important her skill is. By the way, I can't believe my net release Herb Wing just as free gifts to almost every player, because we can get 1 Space-Time Feeder from 13,000 progress points. Almost everyone can do this. I can't believe, because in the Tyrant event just before 2 or 3 months, players need to rank top 300 to get a pair of UR Dongzhuo. And before Tyrant event, I can tell you that ADK 80% down is in cash card TA from jewelry summons. And getting herb stones is quite newbie friendly. Even we can get her from the amalgamation of SR James dollars, HSR James dollars. I only opened the boxes of first 3 days in this event, so far only 3 SR James dollars I got, and 1 UR Astral Stolas. SR James dollars is useful for newbies for helping them beating elemental or beginner class. For me, because I want a perfect amalgamation version for Herbs dollars, so I will continue try collecting SR James dollars. And by the way, if a player gets only one feeder in this event, in the end, it's highly recommended that he give the feeder to the Herbs dollars, unless he really wants the Astral win. Well, in my opinion, the art of the Astral win is better than that of Herb win, more attractive. Well, I will give one feeder to each other. Then it's time for the Ancient Archwitch. Jack-o'-lantern is the fantasy archwitch of the Halloween event of the year 2014, and she appeared as an ancient fantasy archwitch in Witchgate in last year's Halloween event. Her skill isn't easy to use. The compensation is the high buffer ratio. If a player really wants to use her, either he uses a team buffer together with her, or he uses Unleashers to unleash her skill many times to let at least one card in the team well buffered to do great damage. Anyway, getting this card is very low priority in this event. Well, in the last year's Halloween event, I didn't succeed to get a perfect amalgamation HUR Jack-o'-lantern. I've kept 2 SR material cards, so this event is my chance to get her for collection purpose. Well, finally, for the legendary Archwitch Harper. Well, at the moment I saw Harper's skill, I really didn't know whether I should laugh, because the star on her Unleasher skill, what I mean is the GUR version. The star on her Unleasher skills might become a green dot on nullification skill of herself if the nullification skill is not on ready state. If a player wants to send stars to other cards, the solution is that he can try waiting for her nullification skill be on ready state. That will be a better moment to use her as a real single unleasher. On the other hand, the second skill might be useful against attacking skills like Hammer or Turnscape AoE. Players can try sending stars to herself, or he can try sending stars from other unleashers to the nullification skill of Harper. And by the way, Turnscape skill surely is treated as non-attacking skill, but Turnscape AoE skill is treated as attacking skill. If a player finds her second skill annoying, he can use her HUR version or even UR version. Well, for players who don't have plenty of GUR unleashers, this month is a good chance to collect UR tier unleashers. And the final ranking, in my opinion, this event is very friendly to players who ranked last event, especially for those F2P players who ranked the top 100 last event. We can all have a rest. And for getting another space-time feeder, well, I think top 1000 isn't hard for F2P players to rank. By the way, for newbies who don't have Halloween Hades or Heroic Gilgamesh, I recommend them to try their best to do overkills using Bellona. That's all for my mid-event review. Hope you get jackpots, hope you get ranking rewards, hope you get the cards you want, hope you get upper. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your questions or comments. See you soon.